life and a little sports. You know we're gonna play some games. And if nothing else, you know we're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh, oh yeah. 'Cause this is the podcast.
Let the celebration begin. Episode 100. Woo. Our long lineup of guests includes Eric Stonestreet, a dream analyzer. Well, you got all those people lined up? Who do we start with? Stoff, who do we get to on line one to help us celebrate our 100th podcast?
Before we do, Jimmy, I do have some breaking news. There was a bit of an error in the calculation of the episodes. I accidentally included 4 Stoff and Lester shows.
Okay,
Which we can't, obviously include, but which does actually show us another big milestone coming up is the 5th episode of the Stoff and Lester show.
Those
So
were
there's a lot of
abominations.
preparations. We are moving the 100th episode a little bit, but don't worry, everything we planned for.
So we're
and
not at
budgeted
100.
for-
What about
No.
all the guests that are lined up outside the studio?
They will still appear on the 100th episode.
I don't know.
The
It took 4 years to get
pyrotechnics,
Stone
everything.
Street.
You know,
Now-
what? Even on the best days of Carson and Leno, they had to tell people they didn't have time for them. So
Right. And Matt
How we-
Damon got bumped off Jimmy Kimmel for like 7 years.
Exactly.
Right? All right. Kit,
Sorry, Eric.
if we can have our intern get outside and Zach.
Yeah, Timmy.
Zach.
Tell
Zach,
Stone
yeah.
Street, sorry, fly back to LA.
Yeah.
It's over.
on his own dime.
Speaking of breaking news,
Yes.
we have discussed before on this show the parking spot incidents outside the
Yes.
TSN
Mhm.
CTV building,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
We have.
There was an incident where you parked in Roddy's
Yes.
spot.
Yes. that
And
was-
Roddy caught you?
Well, I ran into him in the hallway.
Right, and
then I
realized-
realized that I was parked in his spot and he was in the building.
Right.
They didn't add up.
Then
So
did-
I apologize.
Right. And there was one where Bob McKenzie blocked. We talked about
Yeah,
how
he
Bob
blocked him in.
McKenzie. See, what I will do when someone parks in my spot is
Throw a fit.
no, I will write a note that says, I can't even be angry in the note. I write,
Yeah.
don't park in my spot, please.
Yeah.
Signed, James.
Yes.
Right? Bob will just block the person
Yes.
in the spot. And remember one time we all ran out of the studio
Yeah.
because the person was trying to leave before
Yeah.
Bob caught who
Jumped
it was.
the curb and
He
everything.
jumped the curb and like sped off screeching.
I wonder what would have happened
As
if we
we
got
all
hold
gave
of this
chase.
poor guy.
I think we would have murdered him.
We might have. It might have ended badly.
Gang mentality.
And then
Bob
we
mentality.
found out it was Dan O'Toole, not that time, but
Yes.
another time. So I show up at work
Tools.
today, late a little
Yep.
bit. We got the big day. We got the podcast.
Yes.
We have a couple of hockey games tonight, and someone is in my spot.
Oh.
So I leave the note.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if it's A-hole or A-OK, but someone is parked in my spot. So what? I don't want to block him. I can't do the Bob
Yeah.
move. I don't want a violent confrontation.
No.
So
'Cause you know when it goes off for you, you don't stop till it's finished.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
If I'm out on the street and it starts to go down, I don't back off until it's finished.
And so there's an empty spot across from me. I take that spot.
Okay.
Is that A-hole or A-OK? Now I write
Well,
a
why
note.
wouldn't you just parked in like Geno's?
No.
Or...
So the first thing I do is I call Gino. So here's for the listeners at home. Here's the way it looks. The primo spots go to the big shots in the building.
Yes.
Right outside the TSN entrance, you have handicap spot,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Gino,
Yes.
Roddy,
Yes.
Bob.
Yes.
Those 4 spots in a row.
Yeah. That's probably your Mount Rushmore of TSN
Pretty good.
personalities.
There are some other spots for O-Dog and Dregs up somewhere
Yeah,
else.
O-Dogs is like right at the door, as close to the door as you can get. And I think
Right,
it's
for
an
his
illegal
studio.
spot. Yeah.
But this is better for our studio.
Yeah, for your studio, it's better.
Okay, so I phoned Gino to see if he's coming in because his spot is empty.
Yeah.
Brother, hello, what's going on? I'm like, hey, brother. I said,
Hey, brother.
Are you coming in today? Yeah, I'm coming in. Of
course.
I'm like, somebody's in my spot again. Brother, block him. That's what I do. I block him. You got to block him. And I said, I can't do that. You got to block him. You got to block him, brother. That's what I do. And so that's what I hung up on Gino. And I put the note on the windshield,
Yeah.
and I parked in somebody else's spot.
Yeah.
Bit of an a-hole, but I wrote a note and put it on my windshield that said, hey, I'm sorry. If you are here and need this spot, please call me right away. Here's my phone number. I will come move the car. I thought that's decent.
That's not bad.
right?
Yeah, but
Because I'm
there-
figuring that person
there
doesn't
literally
exist.
is 200 open spots
No,
that are for
not,
everyone.
not primo
Not in that
spots.
area, though.
And it's like
Yeah,
7,
you
8
gotta go by the
Celsius today. It's
farming
getting a little
equipment.
cold.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is.
Plus, I got a haircut today. I can't get my hair
Oh,
messed
my
up in the wind.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm a little angry. I don't really get angry often, but this is like about the second time in 2 weeks that this has happened.
Is it the same car, by the way?
It was a Hyundai Genesis.
That's not even a.
I take a
caliber.
picture of the plate. I send security a note. I'm like, find this guy.
Yeah.
Find this
Make
guy.
sure they don't just take. 'Cause I
And
park
punish
in your,
him to the full extent of
Under
the
the
law.
law, exactly.
I park in your spot 90% of the time when you're not here. So don't have them just like willy-nilly and cars out of there.
This is the text I get.
It was from
I
Dan?
get a picture of my note with F you, Duthie. Once again,
It was O'Toole?
Dan O'Toole.
First off, what is he doing in the building?
Secondly, when you park in someone's spot, is your reaction to text the person and say F you, Duthie?
Well, if you're Dan O'Toole, how doesn't he have a parking spot?
I'm sure he has a parking spot, but it's probably on the other
No,
side of the building.
I don't think they do.
They don't have spots?
Didn't work the contract well enough, those two.
Oh my
James,
God.
do you want to park in my spot? It's right outside the doors here. I use Landsberg. So,
I'm guessing
it's
you
quite
must
the spot.
you must know more about Jay and Dan. When they come in, maybe everybody's gone, so they don't need spots.
Yeah, in the nighttime,
Exactly
the
it.
spots are a little
They
easier
come
to
in at
come
8 or
by.
9.
But yeah, I don't think they got the spots.
I think they
in their
park in my
deals.
spot at the spot.
But yeah, what's O'Toole even doing in the building?
I don't know. He said, "I never expected you to be at work at 2 p.m. or to be at work ever."
Wow.
Wow.
Anyway, I've forgiven him. But the point of this story is to validate your decision to not rescue him from the fire.
Yes,
a couple of
of course.
episodes ago.
Uh-huh,
He's a
100%.
dick.
Yes, he
hilarious.
is. We love Dan, but he's a dick. Let's get right to the week that was. Brought to you by our friends at idrinkcoffee.com.
Let's discuss the week that was with James Duthie and the Rubber Boots Podcast crew.
I'm saying this out loud, so I have to do it. I'm going to redo that song.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my favorite one.
Kinda good.
Well, I'm not.
actually.
Yeah, you like it?
It's a classic, man.
What are you going to do with it? No, well, we're always looking for your other versions.
I might put some drums on it and some bass.
Hey, we always like your
You know what I mean?
alternative versions.
Just give it a little extra something.
How was your week, everybody? Everybody have a good week?
Yeah, I had a great week.
You went out with all the hockey
Went out-
dads.
all the
and
hockey
got
dads.
them all
We went
drunk.
out on Friday night, and
This is from one of your son's team.
Barrett's team. We went
Barrett
out-
is how old?
He's 9.
He plays Pee Wee?
Minor Adam.
Minor Adam.
Minor Adam.
Right.
And
And
all the dads got
all the
together for a
dads-
little bonding moment. No,
Paul
no
Ryu,
mums allowed?
No mums allowed. The mums they do their own nights.
Oh,
Boy, I
okay.
bet they
Very-
That's a very tight team.
Yeah, we had probably 10 or 11 of the dads
Where did
out.
you go to?
We went to
Like
Korean
clubbing?
barbecue,
Okay.
which was fantastic.
Okay.
And then we went bar hopping on Gerrard Street.
Is that right, eh?
I had a couple spots, and a lot of the dads were smashed.
Really?
There was I would say 3 or 4 slept in past noon,
The next
which
day.
for
Wow.
parents with young kids
That's big.
is
That's very
unheard of.
Do you give me an idea of this group of dads? Are there a lot of dads that don't probably go out too much?
I would guess that from our group, I think.
And that's not a knock. I'm one of those
No,
dads.
I think that it's more these picking your spots now.
Because you're still,
Because-
you're a cool dad.
Well,
You still
no, but
know
I
how to
still
get
pick
out.
my spots. But every spot I can take, I jump at it.
You have a lot of spots.
I dive in. Let's say so.
Right. Was there
no,
any dancing involved?
I was dancing, as you know.
Were any of the other dads
The best
partaking
part
in the
was
dancing?
somebody said, "Oh yeah, the dance floor was really going when."
Are these the dads that listen to the podcast?
Yeah, there's definitely some dads.
Can
that
we
listen
out
to
any
us.
of them for being bad partiers? or,
No,
you know,
no. Everyone was very good and
a
well
brother's
behaved.
Or did you feel old when you're a group
No.
of dads?
No.
So
We
you're
were-
9-year-old
we were-
kids. So the dads are in the range
I would
of
say-
35 to 45. I'm going to
Yes.
say, right?
Yeah, I would say in that range. Maybe a couple a little older,
Oh, okay.
but mostly in that range.
There are a lot of older dads now, right? Like
Yeah,
the
especially-
55-year-old dad with the 4-year-old.
Yeah, like Tanya's turning 40 this year.
Okay.
And she's one of the younger moms, I think.
It's funny, when I had kids, I felt like I was old.
Yeah.
But things have changed now, and like I have
Well, when
buddies
did you?
that are
How old were you when you had your first?
32.
Yeah, see, I was 35, almost 36.
Yeah, it's almost young in
I
retrospect.
think that's more. Yeah, that's almost young.
Problem is, Brooksy and I were together for, I don't know, like 7 years, so it felt like I was over.
Besides your breaks.
We were on a break!
She isn't aware
Yeah.
of those.
Good time. Although I did take some heat. Don McNeil, big fan of the podcast.
Yes, Don.
He
Love you, Don.
took some shots at me for, he said, he looked me dead in the eye. He was very serious.
Okay.
And he said, do not go to Guelph. You will be a creep if you do that.
Oh,
Okay.
the much talked about
Don
Guelph.
is, he's a guy with a moral compass, but I think he missed the boat on this one. We're going to go to Guelph.
So I have developments on that. We discussed, if you missed last week's episode, my daughter's in residence in Guelph, and we had quite a discussion about what might be happening in residence.
Yes.
And apparently we have listeners at Guelph. So
Oh, yeah.
some of
good.
the
That's good
students,
news.
and it got back to the people in her dorm.
Oh, yeah?
And so while we were on this trip I'm going to get into this weekend with my family, my 2 daughters were listening to the pod in the back of the car.
They were listening.
Oh,
to-
my God.
And they've never, and that was uncomfortable for me because you start to do.
Yeah.
What did I
that's
say? What did I say? Oh, my God. Oh, my
Of
God.
all
oh, my
the
God.
pods, this
Right.
one might have been the one you didn't want them to listen to.
No,
At least it wasn't the Masters one.
we've started.
That's a bad start.
Yeah, so they're now and
Big fans. They're big fans?
yeah. So Ben, the football player, that was his name, who's in her suite.
Yep.
I guess he listened. He was so shout out to Ben.
Ben, yep.
Ben's
Ben?
a good guy. I love Ben. Ben's going to be the protector of my daughter.
You think so?
Oh yeah, that's what he is.
Well, yeah, I think they'll have that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
All right, that's good news. That's good news.
So anyway, shout out to everybody at Guelph who listens to the podcast, and
Yes.
you guys can lobby us if you really truly want us to come down for a weekend, as creepy as it may be.
Oh, I don't think it's creepy at all.
Well, it depends if you make it creepy.
I won't make it creepy. I'll make it fun for everyone.
I'll be there. Don't worry. I'll be there.
Chaperone?
Would I be allowed
Chaperone.
to buy beer for the dorm, like for the dorm suite, or would that be buying
Well, if you were
booze
buying
for minors?
for underage kids.
That's illegal, right?
Yeah. Did I don't know if I should tell this story.
Feels like one big edit point.
Edit here.
Okay, I'll tell it.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of like the, what do we call it, the sharing circle?
Yeah,
sharing
safe-
circle.
safe
Yeah,
place.
this is the
Safe
sharing
place.
circle.
My opinion, I had a very strict father
Yes.
who didn't let me do anything, and I had to do everything behind his back. I think I've talked
Yes.
to you about that before, right?
Sorry, I'm just
Which
wondering.
is fair.
Should we play the theme?
Oh, what?
The sharing circle. If we're gonna get into
All right. Well, we're in the week
Let's-
that was,
let's-
but let's mix them both
Let's
together.
mix them both, if you don't mind. Steve.
All right.
The sharing circle. It feels so good when we share. Because it shows that we care.
It's such a
I can't
it's such
help
a
but see
wiggle.
a-
It's such a wiggle song.
I can't help but see a fireplace when I.
You know what?
know.
What I see is at
Just
the,
at
at the,
Guelph singing that thing.
Yeah, imagine.
at the
Around
end
a
of the
bonfire.
Golden
Everyone-
Girls, when they're all together and sharing a hug.
You know, I brought a story for the sharing circle I was going to share with you today, but maybe I'll share this Guelph one, which I'm going to regret. I know I'm going to regret it. But anyway, so my dad was very strict.
Yes.
And I had to do everything behind his back. I've told you about that before.
It's
And
fair.
so I wanted to be the opposite with my kids. Not the buddy dad. You still have to be a father.
Yeah.
But if they
Hold
were
on.
going to drink,
You do?
if they were going to drink,
Yes.
I was going to allow it to an extent. Just say, hey, just don't screw up. Don't be an idiot. Never get in the car. Never
Yep.
get in the car with somebody who's been drinking. Never drink too much that you're going to get in some sort of altercation with the law. Never get cited for doing the Cyrus speech from the Warriors
Yep.
on Parliament Hill, as your father was.
Can you count, suckers? I say the future is ours if you can count.
And, just be... I don't mind you sampling a little bit of booze. I know teenagers are going to do that, but just be good
Be
about
cool.
it. Okay? Be cool about it. So when I'm dropping Darian off at university,
Yeah.
she says, Dad, can I bring a little booze down?
Yeah.
She's a little bit underage, just a little bit.
Yeah, because they go.
Eight-
Because
she's 18.
That's the one bad thing about no grade 13.
I don't want her to be the nerdy kid, so I said, I'll buy you a few coolers or
Yeah.
whatever so
Yeah.
you can have. So when we get to the university, I have these coolers. Now, I have put them like a little hidden.
Yeah.
Like in a basket with some other things I'm bringing to a room.
Okay.
This is the day we're checking into res. Okay? And I get there, and there's people, I'm unloading the car. And I'm a little conscious about this. I'm not sure if you're allowed to have booze or not.
You're a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
That RA might take you down.
May
Right.
I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you additionally nervous because you're James Duthie of TSN?
Not really.
Not
I'm
really.
just thinking
Okay.
more
You're
in
not
the,
thinking about that
in the
way.
father mode.
Okay.
So there's all these students around, very helpful, helping people get in. And I was being very protective of this one basket that had the booze in it. And so then, but I had to put it down because they wanted me to move my car for a few feet.
Oh.
So I moved my car. I come back, and one of the student helpers has looked in my basket and found the booze.
Oh, you've already been discovered.
I got busted on my first day at university as a dad.
Are they not allowed to have booze in their dorm?
So here's the deal. They said very politely, the person said to me, in Frosh Week, we've cracked down on alcohol because of incidents in the past. A week from now, they'd be allowed to have it, but this week they cannot have it. And so you're going to have to take the booze away.
These poor children had Frosh Week sober.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure some get some from places, right?
Their
so
dads
I have to do the walk of shame past about 50 people with this booze back to the car.
Did you at least circle back like 20 minutes later?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Boy.
So that's made it worse. So then I went and parked the car, and after all the unloading was done, I went back to the car, wrapped a sweatshirt around the booze, and snuck it back into the dorm. Does that make me a horrible father?
No, it makes you a fantastic dad. But I wish you kind of tripped and fell and then snatched some booze right in front of
Oh, my God. James Duthie of TSN's got booze all over him.
I'm so embarrassed. The story
that's great.
That's good.
I think that's great, man.
Okay. Well, I don't
Can't
know
have
that
a
it's great,
dry
but-
island in
Well, like I
Frosh
said,
Week.
just be responsible. I want my kids to respect me, but also be open with me.
Yes.
So if they
that's
have
good.
a bad night where they got too drunk or whatever, just tell me, and call me, and I'll come pick you up. Maybe not
sure.
a res, but
No.
And you don't also want to have that kid like Gracie's. She is very
Straight and narrow.
and like she's told me she doesn't
That's
want.
a bit of an upset.
She
We
doesn't
thought,
want it.
she was gonna be the wild card.
but she doesn't want to drink or anything. Her friends,
Really?
right now. And so I'm worried. You don't want them to go off to university and have none of those experiences, and then suddenly,
then they go
like
buck
Barney
wild.
and The Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
When he had his first beer.
Hey, where have you been all my life?
Anyway, the one I was going to share in the sharing circle was when I was 4 years old. It was Halloween. This was coming up on Halloween. That's why I wanted to share it. Should I save it for next week? The Halloween
Maybe
edition?
if it's Halloween, 'cause that'll still hold.
All right.
We're a couple weeks out now.
Anyway, back to the week that was. Did we finish your week? Were you with your dad's?
good
That was it.
times.
Nothing happened. Everybody was nice and
Everyone got
was
home.
happy?
Although I think I was pissed that no one would take Uber home with me because I was not in the direction everyone else. And I said, Tanya's going to cut one of you and then get a dad who lives in my neighborhood.
Attaboy. Did they think that was
like,
funny?
No.
But what was your weekend like?
My weekend was good. I have to say, played with Elton Ron and Peter Burrell on Friday
Seems like
night.
you and Elton Ron have a lot of gigs going on.
We've been playing a lot.
Are you going to have
actually.
to cut back here and just
What happened
full-time Elton Ron?
to what happened to Graveyard Boogie?
the Groove Town.
Grooveyard played a wedding on Saturday night.
Oh,
nice.
It was great. And that was nice. Down at the Old Mill, actually. The Old Mill.
That's
is
a
spot here in
great
Toronto.
spot.
Well, it's the place that time forgot, really, because
It's not nice anymore?
It's nice, but
I gotta
it's
take
just
a
like
phone
it's
call.
just very old.
Oh, it's
It's
big?
very old. It's
Just
probably
big?
one of the dads. Probably one of the dads from this weekend.
All right.
Yeah, so
Are we going to keep talking? And why don't you just leave?
Yeah, let's-
leave, and
let's
we'll
just leave.
we'll just continue for a second. The Old Mill.
the Old Mill. So I mean, it's just the decor is just very, very old. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they've done any upgrade. Like to me, put down some new broadloom or something.
Right.
And all the chairs are kind of old and everything, but still a fabulous place to have a wedding, and a lot of people. That was packed. I mean, there was.
Is it a good musicians venue?
It's pretty good. Pretty good. No complaints. No complaints at all. But what I was going to say is, unfortunately, with the gig on Friday night, we get fed, and occasionally, I mean,
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So you're obviously not, this is not Ed Sheeran coming to town.
No.
Do you have a rider?
No, we don't have a rider.
what do you get
but
usually?
this particular gig, we hooked up with we hooked up with a guy that books. This guy's name is Matt McGinty. He hooks up.
He's
a
the boy
lot of
wonder.
gigs. He's not the boy wonder. He's the boy wonder of hooking up charity gigs. So we played for Children's Wish for example,
beautiful.
on Friday, right? So that's really nice. But there's food sponsors. I'm not going to say the name of the food company,
Because it wasn't good.
but it was fine. But something I ate did not agree with me. So
It's the same catering companies we get here at TSN.
wow. So all I will say is, unfortunately, Friday into Saturday was not very good for me.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oral
Oh, both, my friend. Both.
But just the worst.
Not at the same time.
You know what do you think was? What do you think
Honestly,
the item of food was?
I think it was a piece of cheese that I ate that just did not agree with me.
What color was the cheese?
It was orange like cheddar, but I don't think there's something wrong with it. Something
Did
wrong
you
with
feel it? Sometimes you can feel it when you taste
You know
it.
what? I didn't taste it, but it was just like.
Oh, but you know what I mean?
smell,
Sometimes
yeah.
you taste something right away
Yeah.
and you know it's gone a little.
Yeah.
I had some coconut milk. We have a lot of coconut milk and almond milk going on in our house, right?
Yes.
And what's the other kind of milk? There's like multiple types of milk now that is not really milk.
Right,
Well,
right.
it is milk. It's just not dairy milk.
Yes.
And I had some coconut milk on my cereal, and when I poured it, it was kind of globby,
not
kind of like
good, not
milk
good,
gone
not
bad.
good, not good, yeah.
But I didn't know that coconut milk could go bad, so I said, maybe it's just thicker. So I had that, and I wasn't feeling so good the rest of the day.
So-
How old was it? Because I didn't think it could go bad either.
Coconut milk, I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't. I didn't get sick or anything. It just kind of didn't taste quite right. You know?
I definitely
So-
got sick.
I'm a big fan of the coconuts, by the way, and the coconut milk. Is
into
everything
coconut
okay?
oil.
Puffy has returned to the
Yes.
pod. Was
Tanya's not feeling well and
Oh.
trying to work out getting the kids, and there's the hockey game and
Right.
Oh boy.
important stuff.
Well, maybe she's not feeling well because she has to do everything while you're out carousing with your hockey fathers. She's
That's
running the team, getting the kids, bringing most of the family income home.
She was
And
she was sour at me Saturday morning as she prepped a party that we were hosting that night, and I was hungover, and she's like, "You need to take Austin to his hockey practice." And I'm like, "I can't do that. I'll blow over."
so
I
wait a
have to
second.
do everything.
Well, she's right, though, right?
Well, I mean,
God,
she
I'm so-
kind of knew
that
what's
is
happening when
hilarious.
she signed up. I haven't gotten worse.
Puffy's always been Puffy.
You actually couldn't drive him because of how hungover you were?
Yeah, I was still drunk.
Really?
So
You put in a shift.
Oh, yeah, it was a
you went
shift.
out with the hockey dads on Friday, and then you had a party with the same hockey team on
Yeah,
Saturday?
on the Saturday.
The same team?
But that was
Or
it
the
was
different
same team. But it was the moms were there too.
Wow, this is I think
Tight
this
knit
is
group. That's
not
why we're in
too
first
tight.
place.
Yeah, but are you guys first?
First place,
Something's going to
yeah.
happen.
Well, we're only minor Adam.
Somebody's
By
gonna
minor
go
P, we'll be
rogue.
all splintered.
Somebody's going to go to a better team,
Yeah,
and then
it
it's
Feels
all
like a
going to fall
reality
apart.
show in the
Should
making.
be. It should be.
B.
Hockey parents?
Hockey parents.
Yeah, that would be good.
Real hockey parents of Aurora.
So I went to
I know we're the East York.
East York of East York, sorry.
We're the beaches.
had a whirlwind, basically 18-hour tour on Saturday where we packed the entire family. We call it the pack because we have 2 dogs, so we call it the pack. The entire family in the back of my car, 2 dogs in the trunk, and did a whirlwind tour of my family and Brooksy's family. So my dad, who passed away a year and a half ago, they dedicated a bench to him in a trail near our cottage. I posted some of the stuff
Now,
on
who is
Instagram.
behind the bench?
Well, I think we were
Who's
trying
behind the project.
trying to think of a way to honor him.
Yeah.
And a man named Gord at the cottage actually came up with the idea. My dad was really involved in the community up there, so they wanted to honor him.
That's awesome.
And so they came up with this bench, and then it was really cool because my brother-in-law, who's kind of talented like my dad, musician and design, and just he did the design, and they did the RCMP's regimental march. They did the notes to that with a couple of pipers. You saw the picture of the bench, right?
The picture looks
it's
really cool.
It's very nice. It's very sweet.
So anyway, it was a very nice day. It was rainy, but the whole community came out and walked on this trail to my dad's bench, and it's a really nice spot, kind of overlooking a little lake, and it was very nice. Jimmy had to give a little speech, didn't get too emotional, didn't cry. I was proud of myself.
That's very
It was
good.
a happy moment, right?
Yeah.
But a couple things. All the dogs were with us, and right in the middle of one of the guys doing a bit of a nice kind of a eulogy type moment.
Yeah.
Terry Kennedy for my dad. My one dog takes a dump
Oh.
right in front of the bench. That was Willow, my French bulldog.
Right in front of the bench.
Right in front of the bench.
Just saying hello.
And then Buddha, who's
Yeah.
my Boston Terrier.
Yes.
I think I've talked about on the pod how
Yes.
Buddha, when he hears the Ricola commercial,
Ricola.
he howls. We talked about that, right, Stoff?
Yeah, we played the howl.
Yeah, maybe you can dig up that sound here.
Ricola?
What about Fisherman's Friend? No? What about Ricola? But so we had a piper.
Yeah.
We had a piper perform from my dad's bench, and the piper started piping, and Buddha started howling, and howled the entire time while the piper piped.
Did you?
It was
try-
beautiful, actually.
Oh, so hold on. You didn't like.
was like-
See, I would have been humiliated. I would have been like, shut the fuck up. Buddha. I would have been grabbing Buddha and like trying to muzzle him. But
It's actually.
I thought it was
you
beautiful.
liked
Yeah,
it?
it's nice.
I thought it was beautiful.
How did the rest of the attendees react to the?
Everybody laughed. They weren't as happy with the poop, probably, but what are you going to do? It's the middle of a trail.
Who cleaned it up? Did you send one of the kids?
You know what I did? Like, I didn't have a bag or anything.
Oh, of course
And
not.
so I
used
no
the
way your
bagpipes?
dog
Did
would
you use
ever
the bagpipes?
I
shit.
literally, as part of my speech, I said, I put a little pile of leaves around it, and I think a cover of an umbrella. I kind of made a circle around it with an umbrella cover and said, please don't stand on this. I don't want you to leave with another memory of our family. So let's just keep it at the bench for today.
Did you then clean it up?
I did. Somebody actually had a bag, and I cleaned up the poop and removed the poop from the trail, as I always do. I'm a very responsible dog.
You are okay. Good to hear.
Good, very good.
Buddy, when you have 2 dogs, and I have a big yard, I'm about probably a week away from doing the big cleanup.
Yeah.
And I'll do it a few times a year, but the fall is always the last one. And then the spring is the worst.
The spring one's the worst one.
Because it's 4 months of picking up dog crap.
Yeah.
And whenever your ego gets too big, nothing will humble a man more than picking up like 2 garbage bags full of dog crap.
Yeah.
Wow. In a 5-pound bag.
Yeah. So from there, spent some time with the family, and then we went over to my Brooksy's dad's place.
Brooksy's dad's place.
Brooksy's dad's place. Brooksy's dad goes away.
How do you
for the
get
winter.
along with your father?
Oh, really well. He's a great guy.
You guys
Norm.
are like, but are you very similar or very? Because I'm very different from my father.
I would say very different. Norm is a country guy.
Yeah.
So did I show you a picture of his barn?
No.
Okay, so not very good visual for the pod. Hey, I tell you what, I will. Could you remind me to post it?
Sure.
I will
Yes.
post this on the Rubber Boots Instagram account, which I always
I'm pretty
say
sure it'll say Rubber Boots hasn't posted in a while.
in about 8 months.
TikTok as well.
We're going to be live on TikTok. TikTok's the big
what
thing
the
with the
kids are
kids,
doing, yeah.
right?
The kids
They're
are
not
doing.
even on the Snapper anymore.
Or the Twitch.
They're not on the
What's
Twitch or the Snapper. They're on the TikTok. There is my father-in-law's barn.
That screams Jimmy Duthie. If I've
No
ever
kidding.
seen it.
Hey, that's fantastic.
So he just basically goes around to auctions and collects stuff, and he lives in the country. Wilton. He used to run the Wilton Cheese Factory.
Is Brooksy like a farm girl? Like, is she like a country
She was a
girl?
country girl, but she's as you know,
Yeah, she's-
the least country girl
surprises.
ever.
But was she when she was was she young?
You know what happened? I blame it on this dude named Eddie. One of Brooksy's serious boyfriends before me. She only had a couple.
Yeah.
Was this guy named Eddie, who was a New York City boy.
Oh, where'd she meet him?
Like I think in Acapulco or one of those spring
nicely
break
done.
kind of things.
Yeah.
And so Eddie owned all these like TV and stereo stores. Like he was your typical New Yorker. And I think he exposed her
to the
good
finer
life.
things in
and then
life.
Jimmy got the
He got the bill.
so screw you, Eddie, wherever the hell you are. Even though you still want her and I got her, so
Sure he does.
Who's the last laugh, Eddie?
She told me he still messages.
Yeah,
me.
he's still what?
Sorry, no.
So yeah, she's a country girl who's not a country girl, but Norm is still a very
He's country guy.
Yeah,
And is he happy with you as her?
yeah,
Or would he rather have seen a guy who's going to be in there going to, collection things,
well,
and hanging up
I
signs?
think the only embarrassment is that Norm is Norm build his own houses. Norm can do anything with his hands.
Yes.
I can do nothing with my hands except powder puff my forehead. And so there've been some embarrassing moments in the past when I've been there for a weekend. It's like, Jimmy, let's do a little work on the tractor. And I'm like, can you get me the clamp 4-piece over there? And I'll be like, yeah.
I've had many a clamp 4-piece to get myself.
Wow.
I left Jared with him for a week when he was younger.
He would have been terrified.
Jared knew more than I did when he came home.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's not good. So I'm the least knowledgeable.
I'm right there with you.
I kind of like being around guys like that. I have a buddy of mine that plays hockey. I play hockey with, and he basically ran out his own house by himself. He's an engineer, and it's just
They're almost like they're different.
They're different
creatures.
people.
Yeah,
you know
I've
what I'm
gotten
saying?
better, but I don't have the confidence you need to really
No.
do this stuff.
No, I'm terrible.
I'm pretty good at that stuff. I like to MacGyver things.
I
too,
don't
right?
at all.
Yeah.
I like instructions.
No.
That are very detailed.
Yes, I'm with you, buddy. So anyway, some time at Norm's, a little cheese and pickles. He always has the cheese and pickles out for us
Good
every
cheese?
time
What
we
kind
go
of
there.
cheese?
Well, cheese curd, because he used to run the cheese factory.
Oh.
You like the cheese curd?
I do like the cheese curd.
It's like the cheese right before
for
it's
the
made
poutine,
into
right?
cheese. Yeah, it's really it's just like it's like rubbery cheese.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah,
No.
texture,
I like.
texture.
I'm a texture guy. Yeah,
I don't like
I like the extra old cheddar.
I don't mind.
I like.
Then from Papa Norm's house,
Yeah.
we head over to Papa Norm. Always he goes away for winter, so he gives a little bit of cashola, a little
Gives you some
envelopes
cash
and
to get
cash.
you through the winter.
Yeah,
He does.
very nice.
Make
yeah,
sure,
he gives the
make
kids.
sure Brooksy's
To the
okay.
kids, right?
Oh, to the kids.
Yeah,
get
well, I get the kids, and then Brooksy gets one too. I never see anything, but you know,
it. Gives Brooksy money still.
yeah, gives Brooksy
That
a little
is
cash.
amazing.
And
That's
then
great.
The kids get.
Can I
some
call
cash.
him Unky Norm?
And I'm not talking like the $20 or the $5 that Grandma used to give too. There's
what
like
a
50s.
guy.
I don't even look in the envelope, but I see a bunch of 50s in there.
Wow.
It's a good life.
He's probably like, if you ever need to leave him,
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
there's always a spot for you back home.
You're always
So
good moms,
from
sweetheart.
Norm, we go to Cheryl's mom.
Okay.
They split up a while ago, and she's got a wonderful guy named Kevin.
Yes.
Who is an endlessly entertaining.
Is he?
Oh.
Yeah, just an endlessly funny guy with funny stories.
Yes.
And Kevin's 60, and he just joined his first gym.
Okay.
So he was regaling me with stories about how he just joined the gym, Planet Fitness in
nice.
Napanee.
Nice.
And Kevin's like, yeah, I was in there. I got on the eucalyptus there. Did a little time on the eucalyptus. The elliptical? Yeah, that's it. The eucalyptus. But I think he does it on purpose.
Oh, yeah,
He's doing the funny jokes.
Seems like a great guy.
Yeah,
That's
so,
fantastic.
anyway, and then on the way home, the fun part about having, you never have your three teenagers together with you, 19, 18, 16 years old, very often in the same car. So we had the Apple Music going, and Brooksy was running the thing, and she decided to introduce him to some of our old music.
Yeah.
And Brooksy, she does not do it intentionally. She goes, I got to find the Meatballs song. And I'm like the old Matt Dillon movie, like the camp movie? She goes, Meatballs, the Meatballs song. I'm like, what? She goes, it's Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I'm like, Meatloaf? Yes, that Meatloaf. She was not like Kevin. She did not know. She thought it was Meatballs.
Oh, gosh.
So we introduced our kids to Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And if you haven't heard Paradise by the Dashboard Light in a long time, it's if you've never heard the song, it was fascinating to listen to my teenagers hear Paradise by the Dashboard Light for the first time, because that's a messed up song. It's about 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it changes
So
like
many
19
different-
times.
You know what? That's a beautiful thing. Like, I mean, you think about the pop music now; it's so regimented.
Could you two? Have any of your bands ever done Paradise by the Dashboard Light?
I've played it. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this very quickly. I'll shout out to our Bell Media colleague, Jamie Goodfriend. Jamie Goodfriend is this anchor.
Oh, the Boy Wonder.
CP24. But Jamie has a band called In Living Cover. Oh, and he's a great guitarist.
Is it a cover band of In Living Color?
It's a cover band, period. So they do, and one of the songs they do is that
Paradise
song,
by the
Paradise.
Dashboard.
But yeah, it's great, man.
Well, I remember every little thing.
That's a great song. I love the Phil Rizzuto part.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
But tempo changes like that. It's
There's
not
about
gonna
9
happen
tempo
anymore. Yeah.
changes because
Yeah. It's an odyssey.
Whatchamacallit, the Bohemian Rhapsody sort of came back into fashion over the last few years.
Wayne's World.
And that's the only song that I could compare to Paradise because
Yeah.
it's got 19 changes.
Yeah.
So the song ended, and my kids were like, Dad, what the hell was that song about? And I'm like, well, it's basically this guy trying to get laid in the back of his car, and the girl won't
Give it
up until he says, he's going to love her forever.
Yeah.
And so he does because he wants it so bad, and then they both hate each other.
Yeah.
I said, that's what the song's about. There's a lesson in there for you kids. I don't know what it is, but there's a lesson
There
in there.
is.
All right, Jared? You just
Jared,
think with your head.
You make sure you love
All right?
her.
And
When
then
you
you
do
girls?
that stuff, and
That's
you
right.
girls never do it.
Exactly.
Never.
Especially in Guelph.
Ever.
Especially in Guelph.
They don't really love you. They're just saying it.
Stoff, did you have a good weekend? We kind of skipped you on this whole thing.
Good weekend, great Thanksgiving.
The whole thing? Yeah. Didn't have the aspic at Thanksgiving. I didn't have
Really?
dinner with...
We didn't have dinner with your mom?
with my mom. So somebody wanted me to call Jeff O'Neill because he was complaining about the turnips.
The turnips.
The turnips,
I saw that
that
tweet.
is,
42 years and
No one's
mom's
touched
still
them.
trotting out turnips.
Yeah. I'm going to call him.
That guy's funny, man.
I'm going to call him. See if he's ever heard of aspic. He's probably outside. He's got shows coming
Either
up
outside or he's en route.
Might be on his way.
Here. There we go.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, just taping the pod here. So your mom does turnips, and you don't eat the turnips ever?
Buddy, that's not funny. It's not worth the call.
Well, you tweeted it.
Yeah, I know, but it's like my mom makes turnip. I hate it. Like, who cares? It's not worthy of it. I'm busy, butts. I gotta call you later.
Yeah. Have you ever had aspic?
I'm going to tweet it out. It's not worthy of a call.
I'm busy, bud. I gotta go.
I'm busy driving.
That did not go well at all.
No. Well, how did we
Sounded
expect
angry.
it to go? No, this is no chance. No way.
Maybe one of these days I will tell him I'm going to call him. So he's actually... it's better this way, though, isn't it?
He'll
It's
be
better.
even more angry.
Yeah,
So
So
Yeah,
good.
So then you'll wasted his time waiting for the call.
Yeah.
That was the week that was, brought to you by idrinkcoffee.com.
Middle of the morning, can't keep my eyes open cause I got to have a cup of jabber. I said I got to have a cup of jabber. So better log on to idrinkcoffee.com.
idrinkcoffee.com.
Slavic was in New York last week, was trying to get him on. I don't want to cold call him.
No.
That company's doing way too much business.
Big game for the TFC, though, on Saturday.
Massive game.
Yeah,
Knockout game, right?
So
what-
big game for Canada this week, too.
Okay, so
They're playing
here's the thing
USA.
about the footy, okay?
Yeah.
You got a huge playoff game on Saturday.
Yep.
And you're playing...
Tuesday for your country.
It's just weird.
I
There's no
know.
other sport like that.
No.
You imagine in hockey if
like the
the
Leafs are
Leafs
playing a
and the
playoff
Oilers
game.
have a massive game for a playoff spot or playing in the first round of the playoffs, but before Connor
McDavid's got to
McDavid
travel across the country to go
It's
play
just-
for Canada.
it's nuts.
In one way, it would be awesome.
Yes, it
Imagine
would
like
be.
Canada,
Just in the middle of
international
nowhere?
hockey games, like when the guys are in their main,
Yeah.
it'd be fantastic.
But they never do it. I give
Why don't we?
credit to soccer for that because they let it happen. I guess MLS doesn't have a choice, really.
Yeah.
But it's,
FIFA's too powerful.
yeah. We'll have Slavic on to talk maybe about how the TFC game
Yeah,
went.
hopefully they have a
last
good
week.
run.
And please go to idrinkcoffee.com. It's getting up to the Christmas season. You'll never find a better place to get your coffee and coffee needs.
Espresso.
Yes, the espresso machine.
Espresso.
I bought one for Darian.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
And then
Is
Jared went down to Guelph and saw it and brought it home.
What do you mean?
He just took it from her suite and brought it home.
Wow.
How's that
He
possible?
decided he needed it more, and she hadn't used it yet because it's a real and beautiful espresso machine, and she was just too busy partying in her residence with Ben, the football player.
That's
And
cool.
coolers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Ben want. Maybe Ben was into the machine. He liked it.
No, so it's now in our house, and it's now Brooksy and Jared taking care of the whole thing. Where the hell was I? Oh, we moved on to another segment.
on.
yet?
Yeah, I think
Yes. Oh, we're going to present. This is going to be a different type of Puffy's hypotheticals.
Oh, yeah.
Where we may not have the answers yet because you said it's a complicated.
Well, it's a little bit complicated.
Should we play the song or do it at the end or what? We always never wrong to hear Puffy's hypotheticals, is it? 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2.
These hypotheticals are messing with my mind.
Yes, they are.
These hypotheticals, what's gonna be this time?
I don't know.
These hypotheticals are blowing my mind. Again.
My mind is blown, my mind is blown, 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 my mind is blown, blown.
These hypotheticals.
Blown, blown, blown,
felt
blown,
like
my
an
mind is blown.
extendo mix.
Blown, blown,
Like-
blown, 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 blown. You weren't picking us up on live mic there, eh? We were really jamming during that stuff.
Riffing.
Yeah, I heard.
Sadly, Stoff gets all of that in his ears. Okay, so
Sort of. It's because with the recent success of the new movie, The Joker. or
yes,
Joker.
you like to be timely with your
I
hypotheticals.
do like to be timely.
Brought to you by the Waimara, by the way, a month and a half away from
I
our
know, I'm
Waimara
so
trip.
excited. I'm
How's
so
the training
excited.
going?
I'm going to start next week.
I know Thanksgiving did not go well.
can't- yeah,
we had a
I'm just
pumpkin
drinking too much
cheesecake.
right now.
We had a pumpkin cheesecake.
I know.
Okay, sorry.
So
The Joker
I thought
film.
about like super villains.
Have any of you seen the Joker
I have
film?
not. No,
I would
I
like
heard
to
it's
see
really
it.
good though.
Very
I'd like to
dark,
see it.
apparently.
Yeah, apparently very violent.
Go on.
For I like to offer you money. So for $250 million,
I am in.
you have to be a super villain.
Oh, okay.
So you have to commit 3 crimes.
3 super villain
You have
type
a-
crimes.
Yeah, and you have a year to do it. It can be any crime, but it has to be elaborate. It can't just be, like...
So, like when the Joker blows up like a building to
Yeah.
rob a bank or whatever.
Yeah, like if you're robbing a bank, that's fine, but you can't just like grab a couple bills and run out of
No,
it.
you have to do
gotta
it-
like pull this safe out of there with a helicopter or something like that.
Like
Right.
in Batman.
Yeah.
Forever.
Usually, you would need a bunch of accessories.
Yeah, you could
need
accomplices.
Yeah. Well, I know, but the charge you would get would be like accessory to murder. That's why I've had that word in my head. So accomplices was the correct term, yes.
So yeah, you can hire them.
Accessories like jewelry and
You're
a
gonna-
purse.
You're gonna have 250 million when this is all done. So you can.
You can bankroll.
You can
put a
do
little on the credit.
Little IOUs.
Okay, so and do I pick a criminal like? Do I say I'm going to be the Joker or I'm going to be Lex Luthor, or do I invent my own character?
You have to come up with your own character.
Okay. And so each of us needs to come up with our own if we agree to do this.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
could
don't
just
have
decline.
to do it. You can decline. I won't then give you the
Do you
money.
face the normal? Could you die?
Yes. Yeah,
Like
you
die
could be
of
killed
police
by
fire?
police fire for sure.
Wow.
And you can kill people.
Would the Jeremy Renner?
Jeremy Renner? Yeah.
He's in trouble, by the way.
Is he?
Him and Ben Affleck robbing
Like
off
the town.
The town.
That was
would that be a supervillain crime, or was that was pretty supervillainy?
Not the banks, but Fenway Park.
Fenway
yes.
Park, that would count?
That would count.
Right.
Because a lot of people died there. I don't want to. Do I have to kill? I might have to kill someone in my crimes. I don't want to kill.
If you want to
anyone.
get out of there, because if you get caught doing them,
Right.
you go to jail. You have to stay on the loose for a year.
But think about how easily supervillains that usually get out of jail.
That is true.
I watched the Batman once where they were playing baseball in the yard and the Joker just like trampolined over the wall. So I don't know.
we'll make this amendment then. If you get caught and go to jail,
Right.
and you can break out of jail within the year and commit the other crimes that you
get
need
the
to,
250
you
million?
get the 250 million.
250 million.
But if I commit these 3 crimes, they're probably going to be worth 250 million. I won't even need your 250.
Well, then you
million.
have 500 million.
That's good with it. You're good. With the math.
250 is never a bad number to have.
Wow.
If I was going to be a supervillain, I think I'd call myself Dan O'Toole. Imagine if I got like the face-off type or
Dan O'Toole's face.
and that was my villain.
Yeah.
And if I got away with it, and I could
You'd
even
have to
broadcast
drop your
it
height
on
about
TV.
4 inches.
I've always wanted to do like on those movies when they interrupt the whole broadcast network and the screen goes fuzzy for a second, and then the supervillain comes on, but it's just me doing an update.
If you get them to cut into live programming,
Yes.
extra 50 million.
Wow.
Extra 50.
All right, so next week I'll have my persona, and I'll come up with a couple of crimes for you.
Okay.
Lester will do the same.
I'm in, yeah.
Are you going to go for it?
I'm going for it.
I don't know if it's worth the 250 mil, because if I get caught,
It's not the money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's not the money. It's
and that's
But that's the thing. You are risking your
not
life.
a lot different than my contract.
But it's not the. It's
That's
not
why
the
I had to
money.
make it
in
a
this
big number,
position.
Jimmy. I knew you wouldn't be in for 10.
It's about knowing that you committed these crimes.
and
It's not
everyone
the money.
kind of
The
deep
guilt?
down wants to commit some crimes.
you mean the
prestige,
satisfaction.
the satisfaction.
Yeah, but not if you kill
It's like
someone.
the
I don't wanna
Riddler.
kill anyone.
But if you kill
I know.
people you don't
I
know,
love
it
the
really
Riddler.
doesn't bug you.
The Riddler?
Say what?
I'm just
If
assuming.
you kill people, you don't know. It won't. No conscience.
Yeah.
What's your character? You've obviously had time to think about this.
I have thought about it. I think my character's name would be Average Joe.
Oh, Average Joe.
And I would commit
And
all
you'd
the
wear, like, a
crimes
hoodie
as
and
a
jeans?
different Average Joe persona. Like one day I might be just a bank teller.
Right.
One day a bus driver. For each crime, it would be a different
Average Joe.
Average Joe.
Do you have any of your crimes ready yet?
Not entirely. One would involve the bus driver. I would have a bus that would explode if it goes under
That's been
50
done
miles
already.
an hour.
That's already been done.
What do you mean?
That's a movie
Speed.
called Speed.
I don't recall this film.
You know, Rogues.
And my second
Film?
crime, it'll be a boat that can't
Yes.
go under. That's Speed 2.
Yeah.
Was that really
movie.
Speed 2?
Terrible. By the way,
It was like a cruise
by
ship.
the way, terrible premise for a second movie. Why would you go back?
Speed
to that
1 was
well?
awesome.
Speed 1 was a great movie.
Speed 1 was very well.
I
Except
haven't
there
came
were-
up with my crimes yet, but
There-
Average Joe.
There were some flaws in that film. Like the technology at the time. Like, you remember there was a part where they looped the video?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that
That was great.
Dennis offered the back, but you couldn't. I had an editor buddy, Hacksaw,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, "You can't just permanently loop video with 3/4 tapes. That is going to take you like 20 hours to loop that video." It was back in the age of like 3/4 inch tapes, buddy.
Well, you know what?
can't loop the video.
They did it. I saw it on the movie.
Keanu Reeves. I watched Toy Story 4. So we had movie night with the family last night,
Nice.
and I
Seriously,
made them
that's
all
it.
watch Toy Story 4 because I
Nice.
love the Toy Story films.
I haven't seen
Lester was telling me that the only movie he ever cried at was Radio, because we were talking about Cuba Gooding Jr.,
nice.
who's in some problems of his own right now.
Is he? A lot.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone's in some problems.
I know.
Yes.
And I cried at Toy Story 3 when he gave the toys up. Andy gave the toys up.
You did, eh?
Yeah, because, I mean, everyone can relate to that. It's the end of your youth.
Yeah.
Anyway, Toy Story 4, not bad.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I heard Captain Canada Kaboom or something.
Keanu Reeves plays Captain Canada.
You know, he's like
fantastic.
apparently one of the best guys ever. Like
He's supposed to be really cool, dude.
Incredible.
Really
and I got to
good
tell
dude.
you, I was not a huge fan, but these John Wick movies he's made, these last
awesome.
3, so good.
Yeah, he just seems like a.
You know,
like
if you
the
have
best
one of
dude.
those questions about, 3 guys you could go for a beer with
I
or
think he'd
something.
be on my list.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah.
I think he's just
I think he'd be
fantastic dude.
Q-
and he
Q would
plays
be number 2.
this character because he's kind of a little dumb Canadian guy who's like a stunt driver, and it's awesome.
It's good.
And by the way, the villain, there's always toy villains in the movies.
Yes,
The-
you could be a toy villain.
The kind of villains. That could be my super villain character. Then it's an old antique shop, and there are those ventriloquist dummies.
Oh, okay.
They're creepy.
They're
They're
super
creepy as hell. And Toy Story.
Well, you
4
showed me that
reminded
thing.
of
Remember the thing you showed me the other day, the clown face?
Oh yes.
With that little kid,
Yes.
and then he grows
Terrifying.
terrifies his crown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween thing, it's the clown from It.
Yeah.
but it's in a toy store or something. This little 2-year-old little kid goes up to it, and the clown reaches out its arm, and the kid he's 2 years old.
He had like the equivalent of a heart attack for a little guy. He just was like, oh god.
All right, so we'll come up with our. We'll
up
do a
with your
2-part Puffy's hypothetical.
No one can take
and next
average
week-
Joe or the bus premise. That is mine.
That is off. No one's ever done that before.
That's off limits.
So
mine will have a different take than the speed people.
Puffy's hypothetical is brought to you by friends at the Weimara. It is the middle of October right now.
Super
so
excited.
we are a month, and we're basically 4, 5, 6 weeks or something like that away from. We got to start.
Not very long.
We got it. We got
I
to
went to back to my trainer last
Did
week.
you?
I had my first session, so I'm going to be.
I'm
going to be so ripped. It's not
ready
going to
to
be fun.
chat.
Barrett's doing the cross country, so he qualified for the second race.
Nice.
So I said, we're up at my in-laws. We're at the Whitty Ranch, and I'm like, okay, let's do some training.
Okay.
And I said, I'll get in the golf cart, and they're like, no, you got to run with them. So
Wait a second. Whoa. Your in-laws have a golf cart and a ranch?
Well, we have 2 golf carts actually.
And a ranch.
Wow.
Go around the property.
Why do you even work?
Because they don't give us the money.
Needs
They're-
beer money. Yeah.
But so he's going. We were trying to figure out 2 kilometers, but we probably ran, I don't know, maybe at 1K. And
You think if I'd have met Tanya before you, she would have married me?
No chance.
And I would have had the golf carts and the ranch?
her type is handsome. No, so I'm running, and I lasted about
Yeah. Not.
a minute,
Buddy, I
and
can't
then
do
I'm
that
like,
stuff
I
anymore.
might die out here.
Those spin classes
He
and
just
such,
kept
I-
running and running. He's like looking back at me, like, you need me to? I'm like, run! Oh, you're not racing against me.
Buddy, I told you, one of the greatest moments of my parenthood was Gracie winning the cross country.
I can imagine,
It
'cause
was
it's
one of
pretty
the greatest things ever. But it's a humiliating video because I was the dad who ran onto the race course. Not onto the race course, but along the course. Like all the parents just kind of hang out at the finish line
Yeah.
and drink coffee.
Yeah.
And I was the one that went to like four stages on like the 2-kilometer run.
I did 3. Well, I went to the finish. I went to the start, then I went to the middle, and then
Yeah.
I caught the final.
So
turn.
part of it was for me to videotape her.
Yeah.
But then on the videotape, I don't even notice at the time. I'm like coaching and also like trash talking the other kids.
Oh my god!
I have to dig up this video for you sometime.
That
because,
sounds amazing.
Because like Gracie's in about 5th.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, Gracie, they're tired. They're tired. I can see it in their eyes. They're done. You've got them. They're done, Gracie. Take them down.
Their grade 4 little hearts can't take
I'm
it.
serious. I got home. I'm like, hey, honey, look at Gracie won the race, and she's like, what the hell is the matter with you? What are you doing? Why are you running alongside her? I'm a psychopath.
win this race.
Just so you know, though, the tradition of parents doing that is continued.
Oh, I know. Awful. Okay, quick segment of dreams.
James has dreams he remembers. James has dreams he remembers.
This is not so much the quality of the dream, but what happened in the dream that is fascinating to me. I had a master's type dream, Lester, where I somehow enter a room and I'm in like the Champions Lounge, and all the champions of the Masters are there. There's Tiger over there, and Charles Schwartzel, and Phil, and everybody's there.
Is Bubba Watson there?
Bubba Watson and Jordan Spieth. But there's a few guys. I watch way too much golf.
Yes, you do.
Like it's a problem. I watch, like the Korn Ferry Tour and the LPGA Tour. I'll
You love
watch
golf.
I love golf, but I watch too much golf, and it's a problem.
Would you say golf's your favorite sport, by the way?
I would say that I watch more golf than any other sport. Obviously I watch a lot of hockey because I watch a lot of, we're Canadian. I watch a lot of football, but if you went pure hours, probably would. No, that's not true because golf's only Thursday to Sunday, but I have golf. When nothing else is on, I always have Golf Channel on.
Right.
It's always got some obscure event on.
Sure.
So anyway, Patrick Cantley.
Okay.
You know who that is?
Yeah, I know he's.
So
James, I've covered
you know who
15
Patrick Cantley
Masters.
is?
I don't actually.
Okay, so middle of the road PGA Tour player. Actually, very good player.
Yeah, he's good.
He almost won a couple of weeks ago, and that's why he was probably in my brain. But he's in the room, and he's talking to me, and Patrick Cantley's always very serious, looks very down all the time. And so I'm saying, why are you here? You haven't won the Masters. And I'm kind of giving it to him. And in the midst of this dream, I must be in some sort of semi-conscious state because I say to myself, this is a really good dream for the pod. I say that while I'm in my dream. But Puffy's not here, and nobody from the pod is here. Lester's not here. Stoff's not here. So there's no Natasha.
Yeah.
There's no Lindsay. It's not. It's not going to work. And suddenly, Puffy comes into the pod, into the dream.
Oh, okay.
Like I willed him. I willed him into the dream. He wasn't in the room, but now suddenly I was back we'd rented a house, and I was trying to go to catch my plane, and Puffy was going to drive me, and he was taking his time. And then Lindsay came in.
I'd like to dedicate the next one to our good friend, Puffy. Gone too soon.
So I willed you into my dream.
Wow.
Anyway, I went from that dream to a dream I had last night where Brian Mudryk was like a country star, and he was performing in a concert hall, and I was there.
Was he good?
He did Journey. He was trying to do, well, I guess he was sort of country rock, but he was trying to do Don't Stop Believin'.
Yeah.
Which was another song we were playing on the ride home from the cottage. That's why I was in my head, and he couldn't nail the notes.
Oh, okay.
Just a city boy living in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
And so I pulled him off the stage and said, if you're going to do Journey, do Faithfully. It's easier to hit, right?
Nice. Look at you.
Highway run,
Good song, too.
another picture. Anyway, so he does Faithfully, and then he introduces his girlfriend, and it was Natasha Staniszewski. And I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
And he brought her onto the stage, and I'm like,
Wow.
oh, that's weird. Two very nice single people, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening.
I don't.
Or has happened.
I don't.
And then it was my turn. They left the stage, and
Yeah.
I realized I was in Gloucester.
Oh.
That's where the theater hall, and they were all chanting my name. They wanted me to sing.
Wow. Well, that
And all I
happens.
could come up with was Summer of '69.
Good tune.
Got my first real six-string song. Not about the year, as I've told you on this pod before.
It is
Remember,
about the year.
I awakened you guys to that
No,
fact?
I don't think that's-
Not
He
about
did
the year.
awaken us.
Not about the year. Anyway, I did
Imagine-
Summer of '69. Got a rousing ovation. Walked off stage, dream over.
Nice.
It wasn't a scintillating dream, but
Imagine if Natasha and Mudryk listen to this pod and go, we are two amazing single people.
we should be together.
Yes.
And we made that happen. That would be
Would we do a
That would be
live pod from their wedding?
Hell yeah,
100%,
we would.
100% we
For
would.
our 100th episode.
I actually had a dream
Love.
Oh, come
this
on.
week.
Oh, nice. Tell us.
Was this a drunken dream after your night out with the dads?
Might have been. I was dreaming I was at a bar, and I guess I got into it with one guy.
Oh.
And he got kicked out because he was in the wrong.
That's it.
And then I was at the bar again, and
Well, this is none of this is shocking so far.
I even dream about drinking. And then I remember looking over to like kind of like a dartboard, and then I felt someone grab me like kind of like on the side
Right.
and like pick me up, and it felt like I was getting, like, it actually felt like I woke me up, and I was like, whoa. Like, it felt so real.
Like the alien that was on me that time I talked about? Same thing? You were like, you actually...
Like, I felt like someone was holding me. And
was Tanya even there?
No, she was lying next to me, but she didn't touch me.
This is another thing I shouldn't share.
It scared the crap out of me.
I hope my daughters are not listening to this one, but a few nights ago, I'm lying asleep. Yeah. I'm a light sleeper.
Yes, you are.
And suddenly I feel I'm gonna do this to you.
Advantage.
I'm gonna take off my shoe and do this to you.
Okay.
All right. I feel Brooksy's foot.
Yeah. Like at that part of your body.
Upper thigh, rubbing me.
Yeah. That's go time.
And I'm like, this is boom. This is it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's go time.
You can lose the foot.
I'm enjoying this. Is there video on this one?
I'm uncomfortable.
I'll make sure of it.
So now I've woken up. I got to go to the bathroom. Yeah. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, here we go. Coming back.
Okay. Did you go in there like a little brush to the
freshen
teeth?
up? A little
Yeah,
bit?
no, I don't think I brushed my teeth, but I just kind of
did some push-ups.
Did some push-ups and came back. And she just like rolls over to the other side and is gone. And I kind of,
snuggle
back in, and I just get like the push-off.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what the hell? I go to bed angry. Now I'm awake and angry.
Yeah.
So I get up the next day and down having my breakfast, and I'm like, Brooksy, what the hell? What was that last night?
The mixed signals.
I got the foot.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, yeah. I was actually just feeling for the end of the bed because I thought I'd like gone down too far. And and then I realized it was your thigh, and I'm like, oh, God, now he's going to want something.
That's awesome. Oh, that is so good.
Just a disaster.
I love. See, she easily could have just said like, I don't know, I was sleeping. I don't know what happened. She knew exactly.
Oh yeah, she knew exactly what happened,
and she was like, oh.
And
God,
didn't have any
coming back. For
no desire to spare your ego.
I think she heard me in the washroom whistling and like gargling my Listerine.
And she's in the bed. She's in the bed going, this guy, I think he's going to get some of this.
Taking off my Invisalign.
Maybe if I just pretend to be sleeping, he'll
leave me alone.
We better do a very quick version of things that I saw on Twitter and then get the hell out of here.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
See, I can't share these now that all I can think of when I share these stories is my daughters are listening to the pod.
Or at least people listening at Guelph that will tell Darian what's going on.
So for Darian and Gracie, what happened when what I thought she's doing is that she wanted to play Scrabble. Because she likes to do that sometimes at 3 a.m. And I also like that. That's why I got up excited.
Scrabble
yes. So I went to the bathroom, was already thinking of words with X.
Sometimes you watch people play Scrabble online.
I just like to say that
sometimes Daddy watches a lot of Scrabble online.
As the non-married guy here, I just like to say that it gives me great hope that at that advanced age of yourself, that you would still hope to get a little something on the side.
Advanced age? He's only like 39.
You make it sound like he's walking around with a walker.
I'm just joking.
Although the grays are starting to come in.
I was trying to get his guilt. He actually said nothing.
You know what I find fascinating about Lester?
Listening.
Like he's working 2 phones and he's been working them both his entire. Well, he's got a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff going on.
What can I say?
Things that I saw on Twitter compiled by our great producer Stoff. A woman attempted to report a crime to a police robot in Los Angeles. They have police robots now.
Seriously?
Remember I had the robot butler in Buffalo a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I liked robot butler.
Apparently they have police robots now in Los Angeles. I was not aware of this.
That's going to go well.
So the woman tries to report the crime to the police robot, and the police robot tells her to go away and then sings a song. A police robot told a woman to go away after she tried to report a violent brawl breaking out nearby, then trundled off while singing a song. Kogo Jabrara rushed over to the motorized police officer and pushed its emergency alert button on seeing the brawl break out in Los Angeles last month. Instead of offering assistance, the egg-shaped robot, whose official name is HP Robocop, barked at Guebara to step out of the way. To add insult to injury, the high-tech device then rolled away while humming an intergalactic tune, pausing periodically to say, "Please keep the park clean." There it is. There's a picture of the robot.
This is the Onion.
This is the end of the world. No, this is a real thing.
Hey, this isn't baked beans in North Dakota.
Yeah,
this is the real thing.
We've been duped
Look
again.
at this thing.
Looks like R2D2.
It's an egg-shaped.
I am not going along with this one.
We're going to post this
For
on
the
our
record,
TikTok account.
I do not believe this is
What's this robot going to do in a brawl? I don't blame him. What's he want that kind of smoke for?
I'm out.
Like,
They got weapons.
Yeah.
This is the police. Please stop fighting. This is the police.
Yeah,
Please stop fighting.
I don't know. We're all screwed. You guys see those? You know those robots that they show periodically? It's like the University of Boston or Cambridge or something, where they're first they could walk and they look like wolves, and now they can jump and climb things, and they're going to end up.
They're going to
taking
kill
over
us
the world,
all,
right? We're done.
It's
aren't
going to
we?
be the day that Skynet becomes aware.
Hey, there's a new one of those coming out.
That looks really
pretty
good, actually.
You know, your Schwarzenegger is a little bit like Victor Newman still too.
Still good though.
I'll be back.
Some guy ran the marathon in under 2 hours.
Yep.
We saw that on the Twitter. So Stoff and I did some calculations before the show. Last year we ran the 40-yard dash down the hallway here. We're going to have to do that again. We're going to do that in the sand at Waimara.
That's a good idea.
All right?
While
We'll get new
reenacting
times.
the Apollo Creed Rocky Balboa
Yes.
race.
We're going to do that. Who's going to be who? I want to be Apollo. I look the most like Apollo here of any of the members of the cast. Imagine that.
Hilarious.
The ultimate diss to Lester. Okay, you're going to be Rocky and I'm going to be Apollo.
Can I win?
So,
Adrian.
basically,
Nothing is over.
I think we average around 6 seconds for our 40-yard dashes, going as fast as we can for 40 yards. So Stoff and I did some calculations.
Yeah.
And if we ran our 40-yard dashes, we would have to, if we ran them back to back to back to back for 2 hours, we would only beat that dude by like a minute and a half.
Like our full sprint.
Our full sprint. Like, so he ran basically 6.5 second 40-yard dashes for 26 straight miles.
That's unbelievable.
Like basically 4.5 minute miles for 26 straight miles. 17 second.
That is amazing.
17 second 100 meter dashes.
Is it the world record, I guess?
Well, it was like controlled circumstances, so it's not an official world record because he had some pace guys. They basically set it up so he could break 2 hours if he could. But it's ludicrous for a human being to run 26 miles, 26.2 and under that. So it's insane. We're going to wrap things up on this week's 100th edition. What are we doing? So we're only like 9. You took off 7. We're like at 94
73.
now? 100 is going to be at Waimara,
97
isn't it?
and a half.
97 and a half. All right. Spectacular job by all. Darian, Gracie, don't listen. All right? And any of you people down at Guelph, we love the fact that you listen.
Yes.
But just don't share it.
Or you can just taunt them.
All right. And Puffy is coming down.
I'm coming down.
He's coming down to stay in res at Guelph.
If the Stangs are playing Guelph on the road.
Oh, you're not going to wear your Western gear
No, I'll
against
cheer
us
for Guelph.
Griffin gear.
Yeah, we're the Griffs. That's my team now.
That's right, baby. I'm going to get you guys some
I'm all
Guelph.
about Guelph.
I'm going to to get you guys some Guelph gear. We're going to wear it on the pod.
We're down to
I would love
Waimara.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
a-
wearing a
maybe
vintage,
like a
you like my
tank top.
vintage Ottawa Rough Rider
Very
shirt I'm
nice.
wearing today?
I commented on it immediately.
My buddy Kirk Anderson from Ottawa sent me my vintage.
Very nice. Looks like it's well made, too.
Go Riders.
Were they the Riders or the Rough Riders?
They were the Rough Riders. Not the Rough Riders. They were the Rough Riders.
They're the Rough Riders.
Yeah, they're not the Rough Riders.
Not the Rough Riders.
As Martin Short used to say.
Riders.
You say the Rough Riders 30, Rough Riders 24, and we all just knew. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever the hell you do on the Rubber Boot Spot.
All right.
Hey, how are ya? I got a question that I really wanna ask ya. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? The dunk tank at the fair. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up, please. Somebody? Hey? Anyone?